On this episode of AVSocial, we talk with folks from Peerless AV and Infocomm about educational opportunities, the park, Tide Conference, and free beer at Infocomm 2017.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is AVSocial, episode 23. Free beer!
Support for AVNation is brought to you by Middle Atlantic.
Hi, everyone. This is Dawn Mead here with another episode of AVSocial. And we're here today joined by a couple of guests. We're in the month or so leading up to Infocomm. So today we're being joined by Megan Dutta of Peerless AV. And she's on the, we just talked about this, the Exhibitor Advisory Committee. And we're also joined by Barbara Blaskowski of Infocomm, and she's their Senior Marketing Director. So we're going to be talking about cool things that Peerless has been doing on the marketing front. We're going to be talking about Infocomm prep because all the marketing people right now are freaking out in the last month and a half before the show, trying to get things ready. And we're going to talk to Barbara a little bit about what Infocomm's doing and how excited we're going to be about this show. So let's get started. Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm great. How are
add
you?
Anything to my intro there?
No, we're just really excited to be here. I'm excited to be talking about the show. I think this year is going to be the best show ever, thanks to Barb's hard work.
Aw, thanks.
Barbara, anything you'd like to add to your intro before we get rolling here with some questions?
I think I would concur that it's, I think every year we're like, this is the best show ever, but this one is really going to be amazing because we have some new things that we're trying in a big way, and I think those are going to be fun, educational, and also fun, and have free beer. So, there you go.
Always good with the free beer. We'll get into more of the details on those things, the fun and the excitement and the classes and such in a few minutes here. But let's start off with a question for Megan. Peerless AV has had a great partnership with the Daytona 500, and the venue has over 700 of your outdoor displays in the installation. Is that correct?
Actually, we're up to 800 now.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. So how has Peerless AV really partnered with Daytona in your marketing efforts?
So Daytona has been a really great partner to us. I think one of the things about this, it has brought in the industry just unparalleled awareness of outdoor displays. The whole Daytona riding project is about $400 million. So it's a huge investment for them. And obviously a big part of that is all the outdoor displays. So they want their recognition as well. They're really proud of the AV that's behind it. So I think this is kind of their first foray into the AV industry and making awareness. So they partnered with us for a lot of education. We worked with them to do different presentations at shows. We spoke at DSE with them, and they're actually going to be speaking at Center Stage, which is a new facet of Infocomm this year.
Right. And I know last year it was sort of towards the beginning, I think, of your partnership, or at least the very public face of your partnership with Daytona 500, because you had the whole race theme with your booth and everything at Infocomm. Got people a little excited. Do we have more of that coming this year, or are we going in a different direction?
No, we definitely do. We are going to be giving away first, second, and third prize. The first and second place will both win trips to the Daytona 500.
Wow.
One of the things that's really cool is we give away 2 trips at Infocomm, we give away a trip at CEDIA, and then we bring some of our top customers and partners. So the weekend I've really seen, next year will be our 3rd year doing it, and we've got to really see it grow. And I'm really excited about that because the people that we bring, they all make partnerships with each other. And that's one of my favorite parts about it, is that they get together and they work on projects together, they make new friends. Obviously they get to see the race, they get to do a tech tour of Daytona. So they get to see all the kind of like nerdy behind the scenes stuff that they're really excited about. Last year, we even got to meet a driver. David Riggin came by our pit road patio. They got to do a pit tour and obviously see our outdoor TVs in all those places.
Okay, so for those of you that are watching that are race fans or no race fans, make sure you stop by booth 901 this year at Infocomm and enter to win those free trips. That's fantastic. Barbara, we'll go to a question for you.
Okay.
So speaking of various people, race fans, non-race fans. We're a bunch of women. It's a male-dominated industry traditionally. How has Infocomm been marketing, or how do you market to such an ever-changing attendee demographic to get more people each year? Because you keep setting records every year for the attendees.
Yes.
And how do you do it?
So just a variety of ways. We have a lot of media partners that we work with in different markets, whether that's House of Worship or live events or IT. And so we use a lot of those publications. We either do direct mailings to their lists, we do print ads, and we've really started doing a lot of very specific targeting to people. So if you're in retail, we want to make sure that we're speaking your language, that it's not just blasting out one message that's the same, all about Pro AV to everyone. So we've really worked on some targeted campaigns. And I think we've also really changed the way that we think about social media. I think we used to really take ourselves so seriously. And so it was very, almost corporate. And now, I'm allowed to do stuff like tweet about Sausage Fest and, all kinds of crazy food trucks or my shoes or whatever it is. And the things that I'm really looking forward to at the show, which could be completely different from what Dave Labuscus is looking forward at the show, or Rachel Bradshaw. And so, that's just another, I would say that's another way that we use to engage people and get people excited about the show, but also to inform people and make people advocates to say, yeah, I'm coming to Infocomm too. It's really cool, and maybe get some other people interested. We also have a pretty big industry awareness campaign that we're working on right now for the next 3 years. Part of that is to get attendees to the show, but also just to make people aware of the AV industry, for the people that are end users that purchase AV solutions. We want them to know all about how cool it is. So that's another way. And I think, as far as women, we do have the Women of Infocomm Network Breakfast that we're doing. We are doing some regional things around the country throughout the year to get people engaged. Cool people like Megan and yourself. Megan, I know you've already registered for the Women of Infocomm Network Breakfast. Good girl.
I have. We're really excited about that. I think we have 5 or 6 people from our company coming.
Awesome.
I've registered as well.
Yay. So we always like to try to get men involved too, because I think it's not just, it's not just about women. I think there's a lot of men that are feminists that should come also, or that support women or hire women or work for women. I think right now we have 2 guys, but come on, guys, you should come too. It's not just about, it's not just about women. But so far, it's amazing. We still are a little bit old school in some of our marketing. We still do a lot of mail. We still mail out, a 48-page brochure that a lot of people don't do as much mail these days. But I think people are just so oversaturated with email. I mean, I get I don't even know how many emails a day, 200 or 300. So kind of breaking through that clutter with something in your mailbox. I mean, I go to my mailbox, I might have 2 pieces of mail a week. So we found that to be very effective because everyone is going for the cheaper option of email. We're finding that direct mail is kind of the way for us to get our message across.
So would you say that's one of the more impactful methods of marketing for the show, to get people aware of it and to get them out? Or
it's definitely a way to get a lot of information across to people, especially when you're talking about education sessions and you really want to talk about what you're going to learn and who the speakers are. I don't think you can really convey 200 education sessions very well in an email. So I think that's why we need to have such a big brochure. One of the other things which is slightly creepy but very effective is we do some remarketing. So if you go to the Infocomm website and then you're on YouTube or CNN, you might see an Infocomm ad like, hey, what are you waiting for? You should register, which actually works. It works really, really well. Because I think people might visit the website and be like, I'll register later. But then this ad starts following them. Once you register, it does stop following you. But, it's a great way just to keep reminding people that, you're going to the show. You should go ahead and register now instead of waiting until the last minute. So
right. So for those that happen to have been at the Simco show yesterday or on Tuesday and heard the panel on IoT, and we veered off into security, remarketing was something that did come up at the show. And for those of you watching, this is why I said in my panel, we were of 2 minds, because a marketing person, we love the remarketing. And as Barbara said, that's a really impactful and useful way of getting the message out. Megan, so how do you take an event like Infocomm and drive engagement or brand recognition? Like what steps? I mean, obviously we know you theme and partner with Daytona 500. What efforts or what steps do you take to really bring home the message that we're Peerless AV and this is what you want to talk about, within your booth or within your marketing online, in direct mail, et cetera, beforehand?
So one of the things I really like about Infocomm is the staff. They're so easy to work with, and we come up with a lot of crazy ideas here. And Barbara and Patrick hear them all, and they're like, yeah, we can do that, or we can't do that, but we can work on this. So we are able to pick and choose different things. Like one year we put an actual Daytona 500 race car outside of the convention center, and people could take pictures of this. Obviously, that's not something you're going to get in the sponsorship book, right. But they're really great about working with you. And I think some of the new ideas Barb has come up with, like each exhibitor now gets their own website. And so when you give out your free registration code, by the way, if you want to register for free, use code PAV657 and your registration will be on Peerless AV. And so when we give you a registration link, we're not just sending you to the general site, you're getting the Peerless AV logo, a little bit about us, our booth number, and you're able to see all of that, which I think is really cool. We're doing some other sponsorships. We're sponsoring Tide, which is a new conference this year that I'm personally excited about. I'm registered to attend. It's called Technology Innovate Design Experience. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a really great thing for marketers to attend. And we're also doing some banners, and then just internally, I think we work with our customers and we hand out, the free registration codes, things like that. And we also work with a lot of our partners that are going to be at the show, because the exhibitors are also our customers. So it's a great opportunity when someone comes to your booth. We like to be seen as thought leaders. So we're not just going to try and sell you our mounts or our outdoor TVs. We're going to introduce you to our partners for content, for other displays. So you're really getting to know the entire industry. And that's another reason why we partner so much with Infocomm on education as well, because we're sponsoring Tide. We have 2 speaking sessions going on. We're talking about Daytona. We're also working with Four Winds to talk about corporate AV and how to engage employees with your digital signage.
That's great. And I actually wasn't aware that you were one of the sponsors of Tide, but it is on my major wish list of things that if the boss loosens the purse strings a little, I'm going to be there. So
great.
I'm working on them.
Okay, great. I know we're super excited about the Tide program, and I think Jason and Rachel have I know Rachel's talked to Tim about it. It's really cool. It's definitely, the idea behind it is it's no one you've ever heard at Infocomm before. There's a guy from NASA that's worked on this virtual reality thing to Mars, which is super cool. The guy from Pixar, who's super energetic and crazy, and I can't wait to meet him. So it is a little pricier. Yes. Oh my gosh, the sound designer for Hamilton. So part of that is, it is a little bit more expensive to put on for us. But I think it's a great opportunity just to meet people that you've never heard from before. I just wanted to follow up on something that Megan had said about the race car, which is that kind of sponsorship is the type of thing that's good for Peerless AV, but it's also great for us because it's a great thing for us to be like, how exciting to have a cool race car or to have some really great show floor features. And a lot of those are from our exhibitors. So Rico had that crazy big robot one year that everybody was taking pictures with. And that wasn't something that we put on. So we definitely look to our exhibitors to see what are the cool things that you're doing in your booth that we can help you market, because obviously we want to make the show look as exciting and be as exciting for attendees as it is. And I hate for people to look at pictures later and be like, oh man, I didn't know that R2-D2 was on the show floor and I could have gotten a picture. And so we try to get as much of that information out in advance and, tweet stuff out when we're on site. But so I think it's all, it's definitely the sum's greater than its parts. It's a lot of a great combination of stuff that we're doing and stuff that our exhibitors and sponsors are doing.
Absolutely.
One of the cool things I think you guys are doing this year is the park.
Oh, I'm so excited about the park.
Me too. Peerless AV is sponsoring the park as well, but it's going to be really, it's so hot in Orlando and everyone hates convention center food and no one wants to go outside. So they're bringing the outdoors inside, and it's going to be I don't know, Barb, do you want to, I won't steal your thunder.
I know, you're totally stealing my park thunder right now. No, it's okay. So Last year when we were in Vegas, we did actual food trucks. That's how we had Sausage Fest, and there was like Lobster Fest and Taco Fest. There were all kinds of fests. It actually wasn't physically possible to have food trucks at the Orlando Convention Center because there's no place for them to park. Like the parking lot isn't as accessible to the show floor. So we thought, okay, well, can we bring food trucks into the convention center? And then we're like, well, we can't just have food trucks parked in the back. Like, that's kind of boring. So we were like, well, why don't we have like this cool park environment? And luckily we have an amazing decorator in Freeman, and they totally like blew out the concept. So it's real trees. It's like really cute string lights. It's entertainment. It's lawn games. I just heard we're having life-size Connect 4. And there's like golf simulation. There's going to be this really cool selfie thing in front of this giant hedge that's shaped like the Infocomm triangle. There's going to be like a touchscreen caricature thing. There's a lot of like fun activities there. And it's basically a place where you can just hang out, have some place to sit, because that's something that we know is a big challenge. Is you've been walking around all day and you really just want to sit and not on the floor, and get something to eat. And so it's going to be awesome. And 3 times, once every day, we are having free beer, for real, not a joke. It's not the name of a band. It is actually free beverages at 4:00 on Wednesday and Thursday, and then 3:00 on Friday. So.
That's awesome.
We are also having free beer in our booth, number 901.
When?
We are having it on Wednesday and Thursday because we're doing our giveaway on Thursday. I'm not sure if it's starting at 3 or 4 yet, but it will definitely be from 4 to 5.
Excellent.
Okay. Dueling free beer.
Yeah.
I'll come drink your free beer. How about that?
I like it.
Well, if we're going to be shamelessly plugging the free beverages, let's go to make sure everybody comes to the AV Tweetup with AVNation and have some free adult beverages and snacky things and hang out with all of the cool podcasters and folks like these lovely podcast guests.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will be there. It's from 4 to 6 on Wednesday, right?
Yep, exactly. In room WA1, I believe.
And then how do you register for it?
For that, you go to avnation.tv, and there should be a link right on the homepage, but if there isn't, just look around there. I don't in front of me have the link, but avnation.tv should have all of our show information. I do know that we have a website area dedicated to Infocomm 2017. So if you go to our events and go to Infocomm 2017, it should be there as well, if there's not a front page button. So
awesome. Yeah, I went the first time a couple of years ago, and it was so hilarious to try to recognize people based on their tiny Twitter photo. And so you're walking up to people, and they're like, why are you looking at me like that? I'm like, are you Chris Netto? Oh, wow, you're the loudmouth. Okay, great. Awesome. So, yes, it was the first time I got to meet people that I'd been following on Twitter.
And that's one thing that we've done almost since the very first Tweetup, not just the Infocomm or the AVNation Tweetups, but the first informal, those of us that became AVNation, plus other folks in the industry that came up with the AV Tweeps concept. Thanks, Linda Frumbies, who used to write for Pro AV Magazine that doesn't exist anymore. But, the gang of folks that did that, we started the tradition. We always put on our name tags our Twitter handle. No, we don't use our real names until we start talking, of course. And then that way you can help easily find people.
So, Dawn, I have a question for you. What is with AV Selfie? Is there going to be a fun video this year? Do you know what's going on with that?
We are definitely going to be collecting AV selfies. So start taking your AV selfies now, hashtag AV Selfie. And I believe we are working with the fabulous Hi-Fi, once again, Phil Cordell, to do a song for the video. The video will post. I'm not sure if there's going to be any kind of premiere. Some years we've done the premiere on the show floor, and depending on what day it is, either people are elsewhere at other events like Free Beer, or there, God help us, technical difficulties of, AV people always have technical difficulties. But the video will definitely premiere online the Monday after Infocomm. So submit your video, your selfies, take pictures of yourself, your friends, your coworkers, your enemies, whatever. Tag them AV Selfie, tweet them out there, and we will be accumulating them and putting you in the video and making you famous. So.
Okay, Barbara, I'm going to challenge you to see who can take the most AV selfies.
Please, girl.
I'm the queen of selfies.
No, I'm going to beat you to death.
No. It's done. I won already, just so you know.
No, all I have to do is get a selfie of every pair of my shoes, and it's over. That's it.
First, folks, we're going to have a selfie showdown between the fabulous Barbara and the fabulous Megan. So keep an eye online and look for the AV selfie video the Monday after Infocomm, and you'll see all these girls all over the place.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's see. Another question for Megan. So you're the chair of, I have the note right here. I messed it up earlier. You're the chair of the exhibitor committee for Infocomm, or the exhibitor advisory committee for Infocomm. What sort of things should we expect that are going to be different this year on the show floor from your perspective?
So I think, there's twofold. A lot of the stuff that Barbara and the team of Infocomm are doing, where they're making the show floor more interactive. They're doing center stage, which is 20-minute tech talks. And I think that's going to draw a lot of people to those, and, follow up with sparks an idea. They're going to come to a booth and see that. And then I think all the different technologies that are going to show. I know there's going to be a lot of new LED stuff, which I'm really excited about. We have some new LED mounts, a pop-out one, a flat one, that we're going to be showcasing. The park is going to be new. And one of the things I want to mention is anyone that's an exhibitor that's listening, you can come to the exhibitor committee meeting, which will be during the show. It's open to every single exhibitor, so we hope to see you there. We had one in February. It went really well. They tell you all about the show, their marketing efforts, the numbers. You get all that nitty gritty, but you also get the chance to network with other exhibitors, which for me is the most value. We had some brainstorming sessions. I found out how other people use their exhibitor codes, or new marketing things that they're doing. And so I think it's really important for you to attend that if you're going to be exhibiting at the show.
Right. And to that end, another question for Barbara. How does Infocomm, both the show and the organization, equip members to get their message out? Talking about the exhibitors, but also other folks in the industry.
Absolutely. So definitely at the show, we are doing a lot of presentations on center stage that are case study based. And I think, as far as end users are concerned, they love that type of thing. They want to hear about not necessarily the technical aspects as much as they want to hear about what the outcomes were. If you're, how did you make it a better worship experience for your congregation? Or how did you make it a better live event? Or how did you make it, a better boardroom so people want to have meetings in there and travel less, or it's more intuitive to use? Those are all the things that people really want to know, real world examples of how those things are happening. And one of the things that we've seen a shift toward with some of our bigger exhibitors like Samsung and Harman, and definitely Peerless AV, is putting things in context. So you're not just, looking at a product in a glass case with a bunch of specs. You're actually seeing it in a retail environment, in a restaurant, or in a boardroom, so that when you're an end user and you're going around the show floor with an integrator, you can visualize that in your own setting. And I think that has been a big shift in the past 4 or 5 years just at the show, to be less about products and to be more about solutions. So that's just at the show. Taking that a step further as an association, we really feel like it's our responsibility as an association to help grow people's businesses. So it's not necessarily making the industry bigger, it's about making the market for AV bigger. So that's when our industry awareness campaign comes into play. And we're talking to people that design hotels, and people that are architects and retail brands and ad agencies, to tell them how AV technology is going to enhance what they're already doing. And it's challenging because some of them are like, ooh, AV, what's that? But getting that message to the vertical markets is eventually going to make them see that AV is what creates these experiences, and hopefully we'll get more people to buy AV and make more business for our integrators and our manufacturers. So, that's really our big thing. I mean, we don't exist without the community. I mean, our purpose is to help our members and to help the industry make money and make connections. And so we're really, our next strategic plan, which is for the next 3 years, is really focused on how do we grow the market for the entire industry.
That's fantastic. Speaking as an integrator, that's fantastic news. I think I've said for years, we're a multi-billion-dollar industry, and nobody knows we're a thing. A multi-billion-dollar industry that's been around for over 70 years, and nobody knows we're a thing. And So I think that's fantastic news to hear. And
I mean,
let
one
us
of
know
the
how we
things.
can help.
Oh yeah, well, one of the things that we've talked about internally a lot is, do we do a campaign that talks about this is AV? Like, is it hashtag this is AV? You look at the Rio opening ceremony, like that's all AV stuff, guys. It's not just some dude like pushing a cart with a projector. It's all of that really super cool stuff that you see at the Olympics or that you see at the Super Bowl or you see that crazy drone thing. That's all AV stuff. And so I think that's what we really want to promote, that this is a very cool, very vibrant, very lucrative industry. And, people really need to know that we're totally doubling down on being AV, that we're not communications, we're not IT, we are totally like AV loud and proud.
I love that.
That should be our hashtag, AV loud and proud.
Yeah. Totally.
Let's make this happen, girls.
That's right.
All right, so I think we're almost out of time here. I want to thank both Megan and Barbara for joining us today. Megan, we'll start with you. How can people find you online or find your company online? And of course, at Infocomm.
Okay, so you can find Peerless AV at Infocomm in booth number 901. If you want to go to the show for free, register online using code PAV657. You can find us on all the social media at Peerless AV. You can find me on Twitter at Megan A. Dutta or go to my website, meganadutta.com.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Barbara, how about you? Where can we find you? And of course, Infocomm online.
So infocommshow.org. Tons of information about everything we're doing at the show, from Tide to Center Stage to the park to all of the education sessions. It's hashtag Infocomm17, not Infocomm 2017, Infocomm 17. Save me those 2 characters, please. I'm BarbXG on Twitter. And Megan, if you check your Twitter, you're already 1 selfie down, girl. Boom.
Dang it.
Nice.
I selfie during the podcast. What?
Excellent. Yep. Thank you so much for coming today, Barbara. I look forward to seeing both of you in person down in Orlando. Everybody out there, I'm Dawn Mead, your host, one of your hosts here for AVSocial. We miss our other co-host, Kelly, today, but she's having fun on vacay, so we're not missing that much. She's a little, having fun. You can find me online on Twitter at AVDawn, and you can find, of course, me at AVNation.tv, where you can find Tim and Chris and George and Harry and all the other fellas, Matt, a bunch of us. Check us out on AVNation.tv. Check out all of our podcasts and shows, including this one. And register to come to our AV Tweetup on Wednesday from 4 to 6 at Infocomm the show. If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you in Orlando. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.